Have you ever been scrolling through job sites and you keep seeing those same three letters pop up? SSC, especially in finance and accounting roles. It's this little acronym that's, quietly taking over the corporate world and creating this huge wave of jobs. But what does it actually mean? Well, today, we're going to decode it for you. Look, if you're a student or maybe you just graduated and you're trying to break into finance, this is stuff you need to know. You've seen the job postings, you've probably heard the term thrown around, and you're wondering, what in the world is a shared services center? And more importantly, is it the right first step for my career? Let's find out. All right, so let's just start with the absolute basics. We're going to break down exactly what a shared services center is. And I've got a super simple analogy that's going to make it all click, I promise. So what is it? A shared services center, or SSC for short, is basically a special department that a big multinational company creates to handle tasks like finance or HR for all of its branches around the world. And the most important word here? Within. This isn't some outside company they hire, it's part of their own team, under their own roof. Okay, here's the easiest way to picture it. Imagine a huge global company is like a big family, with houses scattered all over the planet. Now, in the old days, every single house had its own little kitchen to do its own financial cooking. The SSE model flips that completely. The company builds one giant, state-of-the-art central kitchen to handle all the finances for everyone. It's all about efficiency and doing things one, standardized, really good way. And this is where a lot of people get tripped up, so let's clear this up right now. SSC versus BPO. Using our kitchen analogy, an SSC is the company's own internal kitchen. They hire the chefs, they buy the ingredients, they have total control. BPO, or business process outsourcing, is like hiring an outside catering company. Yeah, they handle the cooking, but they do it for lots of other clients too. So the key difference to remember is just internal versus external. Simple as that. So that's the concept. But honestly, the really fascinating part of this whole story is where these centers are popping up. How on earth did Poland become a global powerhouse for this industry? The answer tells you a lot about the modern economy. So the whole idea started back in the 80s with American giants like GE and Ford trying to get more efficient. But then, in the early 2000s, they found a kind of secret weapon: Poland. It just had this perfect storm of a highly educated, multilingual workforce and a really friendly business environment. So they started building their central kitchens right here, and the whole sector just exploded. So just how big did it get? Well, today there are around 1,800 of these centers operating in Poland. Just let that number sink in. That's not some little niche industry. That's a massive pillar of the entire country's modern economy. And get this, those 1,800 centers employ over 435,000 people. I mean, to put that in perspective, that is more than the entire population of a city like Gdansk. We are talking about a massive, massive engine for skilled jobs. And here's the real kicker, the bottom line. When you combine it with BPO, this sector generates a whopping 4.5% of Poland's entire GDP. This is not just some side business for the economy. It is a true powerhouse. And that is why you see those three letters on job offers absolutely everywhere you look. Okay, so that's the big picture. But let's zoom in a little. What are those 435,000 people actually doing all day inside a finance SSC? What does the work really look like? Most of the work flows through three main teams. First up, you've got accounts payable, or AP. Think of them as the company's defense. They handle all the bills coming in and make sure suppliers get paid correctly and on time. Then you've got the offense, accounts receivable, or AR. Their job is to send the bills out to customers and make sure that cash comes in the door. And finally, you have the general ledger team, or GL. They're like the scorekeepers. At the end of every month, they take all the info from AP and AR, put it all together, and create the final financial statements that show how the company is really doing. So that's the work. But let's get to the real question. What does it all mean for your career? Let's talk about the opportunities, what you need to get your foot in the door, and yeah, most importantly, what you can actually expect to earn. So what do you need to get hired? First off, English is non-negotiable. It's the language of the business. You've got to be good with Excel. That's a given. Now, if you can add another language to the mix, like German or French, your value just skyrockets. And of course, having a degree in finance or economics, well, that gives you the perfect foundation to build on. You know, what if the biggest attractions of an SSC is that the career path is so clear and structured? You can start as a junior accountant, really learn the ropes, and then see a pretty quick and direct path up to accountant, then senior accountant, and eventually into a management role as a team leader. The ladder is right there for you to climb. And now let's talk numbers, because this is what really matters, right? This table gives you a pretty good idea of what you can earn. So, for example, in an AP or AR role, you might start around 4,600 zlotys and grow to over 7,700 as a senior. But now look over at that general ledger column. See that pretty big pay bump at every single level? That's because the work is more complex. This shows you there's a real financial ladder to climb as you gain more and more expertise. So when you put it all together, the sheer size of the industry, the kind of work you'd be doing, and the career path, is an SSC the right place to launch your career? Let's just quickly recap the biggest pros here. From day one, you get to work inside a huge global company. You'll master super valuable software like SAP that companies everywhere use. You'll be part of a diverse international team. And maybe the biggest perk of all, the career growth is often way faster than in more traditional finance jobs. It's just an incredible professional launchpad. And hey, don't just take my word for it. As industry expert Beata Dratwa-Marcinczak puts it, the real prize is that you get first-hand knowledge of how a global business actually works from the inside, and that is an education you just can't get from a textbook. So that mysterious little acronym, SSC, it's not so mysterious anymore, is it? It's an opportunity. It's a huge, dynamic industry that offers a really clear, structured way into the world of global finance. So I guess the only question left is, are you ready to take that first step?